Here with Wayne State head coach Tyrone Wheatley. Coach, first off, just tell me about the win.
Well, the process. We keep talking about the process, and as you grow and who you become through the process, it shows. And these guys came out and they played, they executed, and it was a great day for the defense. We had some takeaways, but I'm gonna tell you this: these young guys who played today, KJ, they just played so inspired, and it was incredible to watch them get after it and go.
Yeah, I know that you talk about culture a lot, and you just mentioned the process. So kind of how do you think that culture that you've set forth has paved the way for this team to win?
Well, just compare it to last year to this year. Even though we had some ebbs and flows, and we start off one quarter really fast, and the second half we're slow. Then the next week come out, we're still piecing it together. But last year you can just see the bodies deflate and the energy leave. Each and every week, these guys come out and they come to practice like they didn't even lose the game. And they felt they were close, and they got tired of being close, and they said, let's move the needle and continue to go. So each and every week, these guys, they come out and they play. When we talk about the process, they were growing through it. And I'm just so proud of them that they're just not really being bothered by the losses because they're thinking about the process and the end result.
Yeah, and another thing that you had mentioned last year is that there's always opportunity within adversity. So is that something that you continue to push upon this team?
Absolutely. There's always adversity. I mean, life, right? Life is adversity, but especially in football, someone goes down, the next man must step up. We lose a game, but if you sit there and you ponder on all the negatives as opposed to, it's just being something really bad, okay, but they are bad. I always equate it to writing a paper, right? I wasn't the best writer when I came to college, and until one day, a good friend of mine in college said, hey, man, listen, you're looking at that paper with all the red on it. Just correct it, and you can learn as they're correcting it. And once you turn the paper in, it's a better paper. And I kind of take that in the same thing. Take the losses, take the mistakes, learn from them, use them. Don't ponder on, we lost, and just make it a bad deal. That adversity makes you strong. It gets you to where you want to go. And so now you put yourself in a position not to get back in those adverse situations.
So Roosevelt was able to score fairly quickly at the beginning of the game, and then you guys held them to only one more touchdown about 44 minutes in between those two scores. Just tell me about how this defense kind of came back after that first score.
Well, I'm telling you, Roosevelt's a scary team. I mean, like any team in this conference is really good, and they're really coached. Like I told you, we were very evenly matched. So when they came out, they moved the ball really well, but once again, up front, we got a real handle. We didn't have a lot of pressure early on in the year, and then we started getting better with the better pressure, and then Acker comes out with the sack. Jordan Lewis comes out with the sack, and then we get one off the corner with Clifford. So when we started getting that pressure, we started getting the sacks. That's where we kind of started picking this thing up. And they ran the ball really well.
And final thing, Griffin Milovanski broke the record for most amount of field goals in school history. Just tell me a little bit about him as a player as well as person.
Well, I'm a little upset with him because he should have broke it. He should have had the record put out of reach. But, however, we practice all the time, and a lot of people don't know about the stadium. It's hard to kick in the stadium, especially when you're going into the north end zone towards Matthau. The wind is incredible. I don't know if you saw on the one kickoff where the ball just hung it up. And so it tells you the strength of his leg, where he's kicking that field goal and he's kicking through the wind and not getting it up. There was just a little wide right. But once again, we talk about adversity. He's a guy who goes through it and he puts his head down and he works and he grinds. But as a person, for a guy who comes back and as a kicker, not many people just look at kickers and be like, he's a kicker. When he speaks, they listen. And he's in it just like anybody else, whether it's defensive line or whatever. He's on these guys and he's making them work. He holds people accountable, and he's just, salt of the earth type of guy, man. I'm just so happy he came back to be with us.
Thank you, Coach, and once again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Here with Wayne State kicker Griffin Milovanski. Griffin, congrats on breaking the all-time school record for field goals made in a career with 40. Just talk me through, the process of that and how that felt on the field.
Yeah, we faced some adversity to start off with. Wind was a little hard to judge. It's not about how you start, it's how you finish. So I got the last one in there. It feels good. We got a win, which is better. So yeah, I'm happy with us.
And along with that, you also are now the record holder for most consecutive point afters made. How does that feel to go along with the?
I didn't know I was in the runnings for that. Jeff Weiss just told me outside, so I was surprised when I heard that too. But yeah, it feels good for sure.
So obviously now with your name in the record book at the top, was that kind of a goal that you had coming in to Wayne State?
No, I don't really focus on the end goal. I try to stay 10 toes down where I am and execute to the best of my ability. So I just try to stay in my lane. If those come out in the end, then awesome. And yeah, just try to execute my 111th.
Thank you, Griffin. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.